What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. All live, no recorded here. Just bring it to you exactly how it is. No fancy bells and whistles. There you go. It's another Thursday night. One more day until the weekend. Hope everybody's doing well. I've been checking the chat. Got a little distracted real fast right before the show. Lots of stuff. You guys are all hyped up and all ready to go with me. So let's say what's up to everyone who's already posted in the chat. Lost and Wallace, I hope I can make this one, but I have work to do, so I'm not sure if I can. Hope so. Well, Lost, and I hope you are here. I know you posted that one way back at 6:18, so that's pretty cool. People are checking the chat that early. Lawson says for everybody, please, folks, give Jeffrey a thumbs up on the like tonight. Thank you, Lawson. Kidred, isn't Raptor one of the ridiculous characters? I imagine you're saying one of the most ridiculous characters in G.I. Joe. The funny thing with Raptor and me, Larry Hama wrote like a spotlight issue of him, Cobra Commander's new battle armor, Tunnel Rat, and Outback in the same issue, and the Cobra Pogo, and G.I. Joe Slam. And Raptor was really well done in that issue, to the point where, we had gotten a cartoon where we had a guy with his pet eagle, another guy with his pet wolf. So a guy who could control falcons and birds and have them going, doing all kinds of stuff, attacking G.I. Joe didn't seem that far-fetched to me. And I know people always go, this year, Cobra had some really wacky characters, but I liked them. I like Big Boa, I like Crystal Ball. We didn't even get him in the cartoon, but I liked him. I didn't think he was in much of the comic book now that I think about it, but I liked all those guys. Crocmaster, they had some really wacky, colorful outfits, and I dug each and every one of them. So I guess he's wacky and goofy and all that stuff that we like to say about him, but I don't know. I think he has actual purpose in all things to Larry Hama. But there you go. Thunderfeet, thank you so much. Even before the show got started with the super chat of $4.99. Always wanted Marvel and DC figures made by the same company at the same scale. Finally, Mafex did it. Reminds me of the old Toy Biz days. Take care. Thank you so much. That was really awesome. Thank you. What a cool surprise that was. Snake Eyes. Howdy, partners. How are you, Snake Eyes? Blake Tar, please, in the building. Yo, Jeff. We're at it once more. What's up, Figure Files fam? Got it with no slip of the tongue that time. 80s kid from the 90s. What's up, Action Figure crew? Judge Dredd slips into the VIP section. Well, we do have those. Just make sure you show the bounce of your wristband. James Green, hey, it's Thursday night. It's action figure time. What's up, Jeffrey and the action figure crew? What's up, James? How are you? Matching green for you tonight, my friend. 80s kid says Marvel team is getting together. Transformers team listens. And only G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe. However, the Black Series team seems to still hit and miss. I'm curious, 80s kid. I always have my thoughts because I feel like there's so much more the Star Wars Black Series team could do that they do not do. But what motivated this at this particular point in time? That was funny. You could actually see me lifting my remote control for the TV right off in the distance there. Anyway, let me know what you think, because I'm curious why the Black Series team is letting us down in your mind. James agrees too. Yes, the Star Wars team is hit and miss. Well, they certainly are to me. That's because they don't do enough. But they're starting to get better. We got the Clone Wars, Clone Trooper, and Battle Droid 2-pack. That's great. Exactly what I've been clamoring for so long. Like, hey, this is an army builder set. You should just constantly keep in productivity. Keep it going. Keep producing this 2-pack. Yeah, that's like the basis of your Clone Wars display right there. And then maybe give us, a little marker so we can paint up the different respective squadrons of our clone troopers, and we can color them up as we want to. G Brew, hello there. How are you, G Brew? Badger Wolf Prime, what's up, man? Good evening, Jeff and Plastic family. Afton Child, hello. Omega 579. Hey. What's happening? What's up with you? Robert's Infinite Realms. Hey there, Jeff in chat. Hey, Robert. How are you? Retro Robo. What up, Jeff and the Figure Files crew? Finally made a live stream again. Let's go. You're just missing one word to get that full Deadpool and Wolverine experience with that. But yeah, wonder how long before LFG is trending again. Marvel fan. Hey, Spider fan. Hey, what's up? What's up with you? Vin Doom. Hey, what's up, Thursday night crew? I'm a main man, 100 grand. Jeffrey, I'm so happy I got bumped up. Not just 50 grand anymore. I'm 100 grand. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. G-Brew. Hoping that her appearance in Deadpool and Wolverine means we'll be getting a comic book, Cassandra Nova, and the Frank quietly designed new X-Men for the Morrison era. I feel like if there is anything that is screaming for a box set, it's the Morrison quietly new X-Men. I mean, we don't have to go too far. I mean, everyone has a different sculpt because it's no one being able to share parts, basically. Cyclops, Wolverine, Jean, Emma, Beast. We're done. You can throw in a Zorn. Maybe you want to make everybody upset. You put Wolverine solo like we did with this 3-packs of the X-Men, where he comes by himself. We put Zorn in there, maybe with the removable helmet, so as not to spoil it for anyone who missed that fun ride, because that was a really fun read. I mean, Morrison was like, you want me I've got full control to do whatever I want to do with X-Men? Bet. And yeah. And Cassandra, I'm kind of curious if we'll really need a comic book version of her if they do the movie version, kind of vague enough, not so much trying to match up to the actress's likeness. I don't know. Because I feel like I don't know if I'll need a comic book accurate version of her. Not like she's wearing a costume anyway. Let me see here. I have to make sure to be careful about spoilers for anyone who missed X-Men 97. But yes, there's now a reason for people to want to see a character that was in one of the recent Marvel Legend Haslabs to get a new figure. And I think that character is viable because I looked back at the version we got from the Haslab, and it's like, yeah, we could definitely stand to do with a cartoon version or a comic book version, a little bit more than what we got with that Haslab. And I kind of think now that maybe that was the original thought of going with that particular take on the character, because that way they could go back, do another version, which is something I think is viable and completely on the table when they included figures as tiers to the Haslabs. Like, all right, you didn't get this one version, but there's another one for you. I mean, we did get a Silver Surfer solo before he was included in the Haslab of Galactus. So there is some precedent for it. And so if we just get a different version, it's all good. I mean, we kind of sort of had this happen already with the Goblin Queen from the Hell Charger set. Then we got one for X-Men 97, totally toned down. It's wild that the cartoon version is more risque than the figure version, which is kind of backwards to me, but whatever. No need to go on all that. Danny Rue, what's up, man? What's up? Saw your video on re-releases during lunch and didn't get to vote on the poll, but I'm very pro re-release. I'm hoping to pre-order the Silver Surfer. I don't want to pay a fortune. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally in that boat, and I never get upset when they re-release a figure I've got. It's like, cool, everyone else gets another chance. I was hyped for everybody to get another crack at that Colossus and Juggernaut. And of course, now that I responded, I forgot who said, hey, that figure was not as high as that set. It's higher now than it was then. And I think it's like maybe $15 more, which is definitely an uptick, but it's been 5 years, which is crazy. I didn't even realize it had been that long since the pack was released, but I guess that's inflation without having to pay the eBay markup just for showing up. But yeah, I do prefer the regular price for them. Jamelin, what's up, my friend? But how many of those pets can pump a hand car? Huh? Only one. Exactly. Or dance is part of an ensemble. I mean, and stay on beat. Come on. Quick and easy. I'm trying to remember the whole line from Saturn. Still want that SDCC box set. Satin. Lawson. Yes, I made it. Hi, Jeffrey. What's up, Lawson? Glad to see you're here. David Thanos. Let's go. Round two. Round two. Play says, agreed. Seems at least for me, they're trickling out OG Star Wars Black Series figures. It is like the drip on the fountain that you just can't quite, of the faucet, not the fountain, that you can't quite crank that thing, that socket to keep the water from going. It's just a steady doop, doop, doop. Anybody got that Padme and Annie, little Annie? Because we've got Jar Jar, and I need a re-release. Speaking of re-releases, I need a re-release with better articulation, maybe, of the Qui-Gon Jinn and Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi, so I can have more of a legitimate Phantom Menace set. No, it's getting re-released in theaters. Take a Boss Nass, Watso while we're at. I mean, there's surprisingly a lot of Phantom Menace characters that are not represented on my shelf. So I need Hasbro and the Black Series team to get on that ASAP. All right. 80s Kid says, I think it's because they release characters not a lot of people care about. Also, it's because the Vintage Collection has so many options this year and every year. I mean, they're getting another Haslab. And I still feel like we're getting punished as Black Series collectors because that's really the only format, when you think about it, that we could possibly get more vehicles in the Black Series scale. They're putting out Vintage Collection play sets like Jabba's Palace, Boba Fett's Slave One, whatever remix name they decide to go with it now. We got those two as play sets, as a vehicle. We have the carbon freezing chamber also released. So they have options and avenues to get play sets and vehicles, but we're not going to get a new Black Series vehicle showing up at Best Buy or Target or Walmart, heaven forbid. So I would like to see them utilize that format more. It's not our fault you guys botched the Ranker. Stop taking it out on us. Thank you. Sign, management. Jalen, the Fantastic Figure Files fam has formed again for another phenomenally fun episode. Hey, Jeff, say that 5 times fast, my friend. I managed to get it one time, and I was determined as I started seeing all of those F's to get it down one time. So, yeah, challenge not accepted on that one, but I'm proud of myself, giving myself the Barry Horowitz pat on the back for nailing it just that one time. Crimson Cobra Commander. Hey, everyone. What's up, Triple C? Jacob, the wrestling fan. Hey, how are you? Marvel fan. I got you, Jeffrey. No spoilers, no problem. Yeah, I just want to make sure because I know there's some people who don't watch it until Saturday morning. They've got their big bowl, like, from my guy from Forgetting Sarah Marshall, the big mixing bowl style, and fill it up with cereal and just take the big mixing bowl spoon and just go like this while they're watching it. It's a really good episode this week. So happy for everyone who's still get to see it. Kelly Cox, what's going on, Kelly? Jay Woods in the building. Happy Thursday, Jeff and crew. What's up? James, we better. I mean, at the rate they're putting out figures or characters in this show, I could probably do an easy 5 wave of X-Men 97 characters that I want to see. It's like, all right, y'all are slacking up because there's so many. And I mean, based on all the identities that Morph is taking in the show, I could do basically a full wave at this point. So yes, we better. I mean, if we know one thing about Hasbro and Marvel Legends, if it's got that big X attached to it, we don't have to kind of wonder and speculate if they're going to do more. They will. It's just a matter of how fast they do more. And I say that realizing we still need a wave 3 of Age of Apocalypse, but it's another story for another day. Yes. I mean, there's too many characters and the buzz for X-Men 97 is high. Maybe we could see an Age of Apocalypse episode or mini arc at X-Men 97 or next season. And then we can get some more of those Age of Apocalypse characters that we're still waiting on. But yeah, we need some more. Marvel fan. I think we might even need a wave 4. Yeah, it's 6 and 7 at this rate. What's up, man? How are you, Judge Dreads? C there in the VIP section. G Brew. I think the figure version of Goblin Queen suffers from being based on concept art. Maybe, that's definitely a case where I wish that they would go back and do another version because it's like, why is this version so censored? Ugh. Anyway, I mean, you guys know my thoughts on Goblin Queen's figures in general. Go all the way, but we're not going to do that. Patrick, what's going on, my friend? Henry G, what's up, Jeff? Hope you're having a good week. What's up, Thursday crew? My Thursday and week have gone pretty well so far. I went to do some physical therapy because I've got a little issue on my shoulder. Apparently, I've been getting too hyped up watching different shows like X-Men 97 going, yes! So I messed it up. Anyway, yeah, I've been having a pretty good week. Hopefully everything's well on your end. Nice figures behind you, sir. Thank you, David. So I spent some time, I guess, over the weekend actually setting up something so I could have some of my figures without a home, without a shelf space up. I'm going to change this up. These are my G.I. Joe figures that have gotten other versions, updated versions. Got Defenders of the Earth. You can see I just have Flash and Ming right now. The others are en route. And I got my DC Essentials on the next two shelves. And then my Death of Superman and Reign of Superman figures. So no, I'm trying to figure out, should I just do another long shelf on that end so I can sneak in some more figures? I originally toyed with putting my McFarlane Toys Walking Dead figures up there. They're too many. So I either needed two shelves for them or one long one. So the space looks like it could fit something. What do you guys think? She Brew. As a massive X-Men fan, I hereby declare that they should make all of the X-Men in figure form. All of them. I wouldn't argue with you on that because there's some cool figures and we still have a ton left to do. The Savage Land. What's up, man? What's up? Marvel Legends versus G.I. Joe. Who will be king by the end of the year? Man, it's a battle, isn't it? I mean, every time I get a new G.I. Joe figure, I'm like, G.I. Joe got it. They're on top of it. I just finally opened up by Techno Viper and he's just out of reach in the photo booth, but great figure. And I mean, all the gear is just like a perfect translation of the Real American Hero figure. And then the Marvel Legends team was like, no, we got you. Excuse me. Here's another figure you're going to want. And this 2024 output of Marvel Legends figures is amazing. Definitely one of their best ones yet. We don't even know what they're going to do for the second half. Henry G, I just got Padman Little Annie. Haven't opened yet. Little Annie? Is that you? Shut, Watto. 1216 Anarchists. Good evening, Jeff and crew. Hope you're all having a good one. Or great one. Not just a good one. I'm having a great one too. Hopefully you are as well. Henry G, I'm not all in on the Vintage collection, but I backed the Razor Crest and Ghost because I figured that's the only way I'm getting any Star Wars vehicles at this point. I think that's the safe bet for those two. But there are vehicles that I think they could put out there that would make sense that we could still get. I don't know what they're faking on because it's like it's still a viable option for us. And we would back them if they put it out there for us. Jamler, thank you. I mean, I was like, let's get this thing together, man. We get it. Snake Eyes. That's just why I'm a little bit mad at the Star Wars team. We have to suffer from their failed project, never getting vehicles for the Black Series. I mean, we have gotten vehicles. We've gotten the speeder bike. I've got 3 of those. That's the only Star Wars vehicle I had to indulge in because I needed to do my full Return of the Jedi setup. So I'm not quite sure exactly how I'm going to display it. Maybe I'll mix it up. So I've got at least one for Luke and Leia. And then I've got the other 2 for the speeder bikes for them to chase after. They look really cool. So, or maybe I'll just have Luke and Leia on separate ones chasing after one scout trooper, the remaining one. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, we got that. We got the snow speeder, one of my favorite vehicles. We got Luke's sand speeder, lots of speeder action from them. And there are a few more. The ATST, I think, is absolutely something they could do. I mean, it's all legs in that big cockpit, which I think is a bulk of the cost and expense. I don't see why we couldn't get that in Black Series scale. Just needs to be big enough that Chewie can get in there too. 80s kid. After seeing episode 7 a couple times, nice. I really want more 97 characters. Exactly. Crimson Cobra Commander. Which Haslab are you most excited for? Because it really depends on what they show. just without knowing anything, probably GI Joe. I figure GI Joe is going to be the one locked in where it's like, it doesn't even matter what y'all show. I can't imagine not wanting it unless it's the Tiger Force or Night Force Defiant. I'm gonna have to say no on that, but everything else outside of a repaint is fair game for me on that end. And then it depends on the repaint. Henry G, Diamond Form Emma for X-Men 97. I think should be an option. JT the Grind. Yeah, haven't watched X-Men yet. Waiting until the whole season completes so I can binge watch over weekend. Excuse me. It's going to be a good weekend for you. Hopefully everything that happens in the show hasn't been spoiled for you. I'll do my part here as best I can. G Brew, we need a suited Henry Peter Gyrick, given that we've never seen one. He would be, I figure I need to do a video on the top, whatever necessary civilian characters that we really should get from Marvel Legends. And I don't know if that's the case where we got to pack him with Wolverine and insert random costume to get him, but he's one we should get. We got J. Jonah Jameson, so that was cool. We need an Aunt May, but he's for sure one. Maybe pack him with an Avenger, another version of Captain America, the 87th armor of Iron Man. But yeah, we should get him. He's definitely one of those more of a villain than a hero and just a boring basic civilian figure. So yeah, I would really like to see him. Maybe that's one. He's one of those guys where we can have a suit body figure in several different head sculpts, kind of like that New Mutant set with Moonstar, where we had the Karma, we had the Wolfsbane heads that you could insert as well. I think that would work for something like him. We get a Jasper Sitwell using that formula too. And what's another random guy we could throw in there? Maybe not Matt Murdock head. So maybe he's the one that they use as the base. And then the Henry Peter Gyrick head sculpt, Snarling or whatever. And then a Jasper Sitwell. We're good. Blake, will Morph be a basic figure? Will he come with an alternate head swap? Totally viable. I mean, he really needs to have several. I mean, at least two. I think maybe more, but yeah, we need that for him. Lawson, I just want a Rachel Summers figure for my Excalibur display. Excalibur. And an original Rogue look for my 80s X-Men shelf. Yes, me too. Jacob's playing GTA Online and watching the stream. Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. Kelly Cox. Jeff, Age of Apocalypse Series 3. Who would you want for a bath? Nemesis, the bath. That's easy. We still need Banshee, Storm, Havoc. Let's see, there's 3 right there. Gambit. I'm trying to get a mix and a balance. The Generation Next crew, I may have to hold off on. Quicksilver. It's another one. We have a lot of members from that other squad that we need. Bishop, there's 6 there. Probably need a villain at some point thrown in the mix there. Boy. No, I kind of wouldn't like that Angel. He looked really cool, even though he's not really a villain. Sinister, he'd be the one. So I could have some use for my X-Man character or figure who's just kind of sitting there by himself. So that's it. Yeah, I mean, it's really simple. There's a lot more characters left for Age of Apocalypse, and yeah. Matthew, what's going on, man? How are you? The Watcher. Finally caught a live stream. Glad to have you on here. Appreciate it. Yep, put a shelf on the big empty white space. I mean, that's what it's there for, right? I was thinking maybe I put some more pictures, but nah, more figures. Marvel fan wants to know, Jeff, what is your favorite superhero? And if it is DC, what's your favorite Marvel hero? I'll tell you what, I'll do you even better, give you both. My favorite superhero. Let's see. It's kind of boring. For DC, Superman. It's just he has all the cool powers. And the colors, the primary color costume makes him just look really cool. If I were to go with like a way off the beaten path, but I think he's so underrated and is a really awesome power set that they don't do enough with in DC. Amazing Man. His costume's awesome. He's Absorbing Man for DC, and they don't put him in stuff. And he's somebody I would have loved to have seen as part of the new 52 Justice League instead of Cyborg. He would have worked there. I mean, he's really cool. So I love to see him get more of a spotlight because you know there's still a deficiency in terms of big spotlight characters, Black Descent, in terms of being heavy hitters in DC. No one really has his power base. I mean, even now when they've done so many they've done New 52, they've done Rebirth, Dawn of DC, that power set's still out there. So it's not like, oh, here's another stretchy guy like Elongated Man and Plastic Man. The power set's right there. For Marvel, um, let's see. It's probably a tie at this point in time between Cyclops. I mean, I love the optic blast and his whole emotional journey, and Black Panther because he's really freaking cool. So those are my two. Who are yours? George, what's going on? What's up, Jeff? I hope they don't put more from the Vulcan body again. Yeah, he does not need that. He needs a smaller one. Maybe an updated pizza Spidey buck would work. Maybe so. And then, of course, they're going to have to resculpt the jacket for Morph, but it'll be worth it for him. What's wrong with Darth Vader's legs, 80s kid? Lost, and I managed to pre-order the Iron Fist Power Man 2-pack. Thanks for the link. Thank you for using it. Appreciate it. The Watcher says, would love Mafex to make a Black Cat and a classic comic book Wonder Woman figure. Same. I mean, I feel like that's their only problem. They're so slow getting out more figures that I would buy with a quickness if they would just get them out there to us. So, yeah. I'm going to start this one, Matthew. So when I come back to it, I will remember to do that. They need to reissue the Superman. Yeah, they do. I mean, people still want it. That's yet another reason why we should get more re-releases. Judge Dreads, I got Mafex Cyborg Soups myself. Great figure. G-Broom still holding out hope that Kitty Pryde shows up in X-Men 97. She's the only major X-Men character at the time that never appeared in the OG cartoon. Really? That's wow, that's crazy. So far, the X-Men 97 is following that trend, sadly. That's wild. See, I guess that's what happens when you have Jubilee. It's like she's way older at that point. But then she wasn't in the Age of Apocalypse stuff or Days of Future Past storyline. It's crazy. Huh. Undercover Colton, what's going on? Still need to watch the new episode of 97. I will make sure not to say anything spoilery about it. Yeah, so I won't say anything. Roberts, I hope that rumor is absolutely true. That Mafex is doing a Hal Jordan Green Lantern later in the year. Man, that would be awesome. And if they do, what DC storyline would that tie that into? And if so, I'd love to see him so we can make use of the whole Death of Superman or Reign of the Superman storyline. So give him a different head sculpt with the white temples. So we can have him fighting Cyborg Superman and hopefully an upcoming Mongol as well. That would be cool. But that'd be really good. I'd love to see that. X, gonna give it to you. What's good, Mr. Lyles? Hey, you just call me Jeffrey, man. I'm gonna stand on formalities here. My dad's Mr. Lyles. Undercover Colton, I think Jubilee is a given for Wave 3. She should be. I mean, surprisingly, maybe they're going to retool her and make her shorter because they have sized down Rogue and Jean Grey. So maybe Jubilee will be smaller. That's what's taking so long. Henry Peter Garrick should have been a tier figure for Haslab Sentinel. See, that would have made me upset because I was like, you got to army build the Sentinel. I don't have the money to army build that Haslab Sentinel. So yeah, I was happy with the tier choices they went with there because it made sense. It wasn't like, oh no, now you messed me all up. And those figures are really expensive on their own. Or the Avengers Quinjet. Sign me up. Want that. M. Beltran. Hey Jeff, what's up? I'm not a big fan of Mattel or WWE figures, but I had to pre-order that Muhammad Ali figure from Target. Muhammad Ali? Oh, wait, I do. Ha. I've been shooting on my cell phone the last few episodes. So I was like, oh, but I was noticing the problem with I was not able to show pictures that I've been shooting from doing it that way. So you can see the phone. So I went to Target this week and they have the new wave of Legends register log. So, I couldn't buy them if I wanted to, but Muhammad Ali was there. Lots of Captain Lou, which is exciting because he's the one I'm most excited about grabbing for that set. And he was an overdue legend. So, like, yes, finally we get the Captain. I'm really okay. Yes, there is another figure from 97 that I don't want to spoil for people who haven't watched it, but yeah. And there's a whole army of characters that I want that have now shown up. Judge Dredd, I would say Beast is coming. Yes. Yeah. I figure Roberto, Jubilee, Beast, Morph taking up 4 of those slots already. I'm trying to think of what we've seen in the trailers. So those 4 have to be locked in. And then there's like 2 others that really should be. I mean, at this point, Garrett could be because he's been so prominently featured that maybe he's not too far out of there. We'll see. I'd be very interested in a Jack Kirby figure. So would I, Kelly. That'd be cool. Crimson Cobra Commander will have the tactical battle platform in 2.5 weeks and classifies. I want to see what that looks like. That would be cool. Savage Land, X-Men 97 is perfect. Complex dialogue and better action than the live MCU. G.I. Joe needs the same, dude. And it's so frustrating as a G.I. Joe fan wanting to see them do something, whether it's a cartoon, whether it's CGI, whether it's live action. G.I. Joe is so easy, and it is infuriating that it's just sitting there gathering mothballs. You don't have to do much. And the technology, it's right there. You can do so many cool things. G.I. Joe Retaliation had his tanks. Just give it a little quick CGI makeover. I mean, people on YouTube are doing amazing things where they could just, boop, here's a better version of that, and lean all the way into it. So if you want to do Raptor, give him the whole Falcon cowl, do it up. Don't go, here's a guy with a bird necklace. Don't do that. Don't mess around. Go all out with G.I. Joe. The fans will support it, and he'll be like, why didn't we do this earlier? The Watcher. I'd be down for a Dawn Moreno Snake Eyes figure. Yeah, I gotta assume she's gonna be in the short list of characters. We did get Helix, and Dawn's outfit is so unique that I feel like she would, maybe she's already in the works. And Beltran, Mafex is my go-to for DC. Need a Red Hood, Jason Todd, and a Lobo with bike. Yes. Marvel fan, X-Men 97, Wave 3, Beast, Forge, Civilian Form, Forge. Yeah, he'd be good. Sunspot, Power Off, Jubilee Morph, Cable. Yep. 80's gonna think the Black Series team should just release original trilogies fan channel and prequel trilogy as post Target exclusives. No exclusives. Just put it all out. Just keep them coming. Dark Knight 297. Jeff, what's good, my brother? Did I miss much? Shade. There is a NECA Kirby figure, but it's animated. It might be out of scale. It's not too bad. And I've seen pictures with Stan and Jack. I mean, they're not going to line up like, oh, they're the same line, but it's close enough right now. Let's do Lions BK. It's Thursday night. Do you know where your figures are? What's up, crew? What's up, man? The 4 Horsemen from X-Men. Oh, right. Sorry. They would be cool. No shame there. Superman is a goat. See, I feel like this is a good use of goat. Superman is the goat. Jacob the Wrestling Fan. If the Legends of the Territories becomes a line, who would you like to see? Man, the chat is jumping because I'm sure you have an answer, but it's long down in there. All right. Let's see who would I like to see. So many. Nikita and Ivan Koloff, Buddy Roberts, complete the Freebirds. Let's see, Barry Windham with, I like an Ultimate Edition Barry Windham. That way I can get my smiling, happy face, Barry Windham, and then give a separate hand with the claw, a little scruff, not the full-on beard like the Widowmaker, just a little scruffy beard with a sneer, and short hair for his 92 return where he's fighting the Dangerous Alliance. Yeah. That was just a couple. Tag Team Rock and Roll Express or Midnight Express. I feel like it's too easy. G-Brew, my favorite comic characters. Marvel, Cyclops, DC Superman, other companies, Leonardo. Yeah, it's a good choice. Who's greater, Superman or Batman? I guess it depends on your preference. For me, Superman. Batman, he's and some of it's because he's been overdone to the point where it's like, okay, we get it. Superman's awesome, but Batman's the greatest thing ever. So that's probably why. Jalen, I'm with Lawson on that original Rogue. Yes, I might display it with Avengers villains though. Badger Prime. My favorite heroes would be Batman and the Thing. Thing is a really good choice as well. Undercover Colton. I know a lot of people have it already, but I can't wait to get my hands on the Silver Surfer reissue. It's a very cool figure, and I think you're gonna love it. And what's great is when you have two Silver Surfers, there are a few characters where it's like, I don't care because I can put one with one and another. So I have one Silver Surfer with my cosmic display and the other with the Defenders. Vader's legs don't have the single jointed pin in his knees. Thank you. Appreciate that. And the Mafex world for me is the Hush Batman. Had to have it. Glad I have it. Yeah, it's a really good figure. All right. Not going to post that one. It's a spoiler. All right, let's see. My favorite villain in Joe, Cobra Commander. Destro's a close runner up, though. Marvel fan. Jeff, my favorite DC character, is a bit cheating, but it is Red Hood. My favorite Marvel character, Star Lord, mostly because of films. He is very fun in the films. If you've never read Annihilation, I would definitely recommend it. It's a little bit different than the character in the films, but he's very well written there. And if you like him from the films, check out the DNA Guardians of the Galaxy because Star Lord is awesome in those, and they're basically the foundation for the James Gunn films. Oh, Brew. Yeah, I was wondering if I said, and then I was like, wait, when that Bishop, yeah, you're right. Thank you. Mage TVPTB, respect from Nashville. How you doing, my man? Green Man. When will Mafex make Rogue? Yeah, they're gonna have to do a couple versions of her at this rate. If they do classic Rogue, I hope she gets two heads, one with white streak on the sides of her head, one with the skunk look down the. I mean, you are speaking the Hasbro Marvel Legends team's language because they'll do alternate head sculpts. It'll be totally different. The Doctor Strange, the hair is totally different. The Banshee, one has sideburns, the other doesn't. So they've got you covered so hard on that. Thank you. I like this shirt too. It was like, nice, mix it up a bit. So yeah, Captain Falcon. I have Mafex Azrael Batman on the way. Now we wait. X solid figure and like that one. Okay, you'd like to see Gary Hart, yes, David Von Erich and Bruiser Brody. They won't happen probably. Maybe so. Henry G. Hey Jeff, what's your opinion on Transformers mainline? Are you collecting any? I've been going pretty hard since the War for Cybertron. I've actually been the same way, Henry. I was getting the masterpiece figures, then the prices started going up. I was like, guys are getting me here. Excuse me. I'm a Generation One collector in specifically cartoon Generation One. I know they've done some that are like, oh, I didn't know this character was in G1. I'm focusing on cartoons. So it's a long wait in between figures for me. It's really weird in that sense because it's like, oh man, Gears is coming, but it might be like 5 live streams that they do before there's another figure I'm interested in. So it's really wild out there. Dark 9297 says Jubilee, Professor X, Morph, and Beast in Wave 3. I'm calling it like I did with a Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Lawson, Jeff, I didn't get the Haslab Sentinel. Galactus was my first Haslab, and I feel like I got the better of those two. I agree, just simply because Galactus can stand on his own with one Sentinel. It's kind of like, all right, cool. I mean, the whole thing is they're an army, and you can have one fight your whole X-Men, but really, 2 or 3 of the X-Men can take out one Sentinel. All right, Savagely, I'm gonna say that one too. But like a modern G.I. Joe cartoon would be rad. It would be. I don't know what they're doing. Henry G, exactly. Whenever they try to do any G.I. Joe in entertainment, they always seem to think they have to change it up. Give us the G.I. Joe we know. And that's half the battle. Sorry, I could not resist. But I mean, yeah, stop trying to make it real world. G.I. Joe is not real world. Just embrace it. Have fun. I mean, there's so many real world action movies with soldiers. We don't need that. We need the dude in the silver mask that somehow moves when he talks. Give us all that. The ninjas, the the dude holding a ma deuce. Just don't go too hard. Like, well, how would this work in a real? No, don't do that. It's not GI Joe. It's never been GI Joe. Van Doom. Did we ever get Marauder figures? No. I mean, we've gotten some. I shouldn't say that. But yeah, I mean, we've gotten Vertigo, gotten Sabretooth, and depending on your point of view, we've got Gambit. So we have some, but there's another set of box figures I'd happily buy. And Watcher has become, it's not a spoiler, I'll put it up. I'm happy to see Rogue get respect. I've been a long time fan of that character. So to see what 97 has done with her is great. She had an awesome line in this well, actually a couple of awesome lines in this yesterday's episode. She has an awesome story arc, and 97 made me a Cyclops fan. That is wild. I'm loving the Cyclops respect people are now getting from the show. We got a Vertigo in the villains 5-pack and a Callisto who is way too curvy. Was she? Thought she was on that slender buck. Russia Robo. Okay. We just got Lalandra. Do you think they would complete a team like the Imperial Guard? No, they won't complete it. I'd like to see them get, oh boy. I feel like that's being greedy, but maybe 6 more characters. I mean, I still need a Gladiator updated figure overhaul, but yeah, maybe if we can get 6 more, I would feel like, all right, we've got a decent amount. Also, what's the name of their giant man wannabe character? Titan. I think if you get him in there, it would add a little bit more like, oh, they're imposing just because they have a giant as part of the team. And I don't need like Haslab size Titan. If they could sneak him out into like a 12-inch, 14-inch Pulse exclusive, I would be happy with that. Warhawk, Starbolt, Smasher, Oracle, and man, there's one more I'm forgetting. Oh, the Whiplash character. I mean, there's so many. They're not going to get them all, but I think a box set would go a long way to giving us some essential X-Men villains. So I'd love to see them. JXCIXX. What's going on? A Mafex Electra with the upcoming Daredevil would be sweet. I agree. And what's up with the lack of Bullseye? Blake, I want to see a Von Erich's family pack. We did get Kevin and Carrie way back in the day, and they could be improved on because Kevin didn't have a great likeness, but I think they're tied up with the Powertown Wrestling Lives On license, even though we haven't seen anything else of Kevin or David. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, that'd be cool. Always like Vigilante. Yeah, X. Cool look. And just the black with the V. Really cool. Which one? I mean, even said that, but both versions. The new Teen Titans version, the cowboy version from the 7 Soldiers of Victory. Also really cool. Crimson Cobra Commander. I think X-Men 97, like Spider-Man, can support their own Legends line. Agreed. I mean, I feel like there's no reason for them to stop. Maybe they could change the formatting up. No retro cards. Do build a figure. There clearly been several characters that would work under the context of that. So yeah, they could do that for sure. Love to see Lions BK. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate you. Appreciate what you do in space. You create for all of us. Absolutely. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Here we go. Psych 68. I'm with you on this. Don't get me wrong. I love Jim Lee's iconic designs and all those figures look awesome on display. But I like for other artists to get some shine, This is an issue for Mafex and Hasbro. I was about to ask which one you want to see. Give us some Silvestri X-Men. Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, we got, I guess, half of the Outback team, but yeah, I want to get that squad completed. Love to see Joe Mad designs done in figure form, more of the team. What's another beloved X-Men creator that I like to see? I mean, I guess we've almost got the John Byrne, Dave Cockrum team completed. There's some Paul Smith, John Romita Jr.'s, his version of the X-Men. we've got Punk Storm, and we've got brown and orange Wolverine. But yeah, a Shadow Cat with the actual hair, 80s style, Rachel Summers, Colossus in his red and white outfit, Rogue in more of her punk outfits. Yeah, that'd be really good to see. Lawson, favorite heroes: Batman and the Hulk, then Superman and Spider-Man, then Wonder Woman and Thing. Judge Dreads, did the Silver Surfer sell out already? Was another tongue twister. Yeah, apparently so. I don't know about Big Bad Toy Store, but he's sold out right now on Entertainment Earth. I think Amazon too, and Hasbro Pulse. So it's definitely there. Jeez, I've gone on all this time. I forgot to do it. So I thank you to all the super supporters who've been supporting this channel in April. And there's been a lot of you today. So for right now, definitely want to make sure to thank Blake Tarpley, Jalen Parks, Tom Finn 2018. Thank you all so much for continuing to support the channel. And hopefully you're seeing the changes I'm doing on it. So back to the show. Let's see here. G-Brew. I think Batman gets more love than Superman because Bats is way easier to write and write well. Just do classic noir with superheroes. You got Batman. Superman is a much more difficult character to crack. You're right. And I feel like you see that because there's like 30 Batman books that DC puts out every month. And it kind of waters them down. I feel like they just did like a strong 4. They'd be good. But I feel like because he's so easy to write, we don't get the same quality that we could out of good Batman stuff. And there's not a, oh man, you missed a really good Batman. It's just like, yeah, I'll read that story 2 years from now. So it's no real, sense of urgency to read a really good Batman story. Dark 1997, my favorite comic characters are Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, Joker, Wolverine, and Wonder Woman. Nice. I think Todd should take notes because lots of people are saying Wonder Woman is one of her favorites. All right, let me star that one so make sure to remember that one, Blake. G-Brew. I think that the Jim Lee 90s X-Men costumes are incredibly overrated. All those characters have had better looks. Did Psylocke though? I mean, it's just because of the cartoon. It's embedded with people that's how the X-Men are supposed to look. Hit the music. But I'm definitely a fan of other costumes too. I think it's probably more when you started getting into X-Men, what you think their definitive looks are. I can appreciate all the different looks from, the Neil Adams time period on to, let's see, because, then it became this thing of every new artist coming onto the book gives them a different look. I guess probably the last different outfits were the quietly new X-Men designs. And that was the last ones. I guess the Utopia designs, I should say that. So back to more Silvestri. So yeah, if they do those, I would be happy, but there are a lot more that they could hit. Interesting question from Marvel fan. Java, there's only a team of 10 X-Men, not including Professor X. What team of X-Men would be your 10? All right, look at my 10. Cyclops, surprise. Storm, the 2 leaders. Anytime I'm reading the X-Men book and Storm or Cyclops aren't the leader, I'm like, do I really want to read this? So those 2, lock them in. Jean Grey, Phoenix, whatever you want to call her. Wolverine, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Rogue. Let's see. This is when it starts getting a little tricky because I tend to skew more times to the era of the X-Men that I like the most. Archangel, because I think as Angel, he was cool, but as Archangel, he was far more capable of handling himself in a fight and going toe to toe with Wolverine. Let's see, Bishop, and it's so hard. I want to say Nightcrawler because I really like Nightcrawler. I'm gonna say him. Apologies to Gambit. He'd be my honorable mention. And then the next one would be Banshee, just because I like his power. Marvel fan, you all better smash the like button. Just carefully. Don't damage your thumbs on that. 1216 Anarchist. I'm not into archery really, but my favorite 2 characters are Hawkeye and Green Arrow. Just think they have really well-defined personalities. They do. And, that was kind of my one thing with how Hawkeye was portrayed in the MCU. Was like, why is he like a regular dude? He should be, hey, I don't care if you guys have superpowers. You've got a hammer that calls down lightning. I've got this really cool bow and arrow set. I want to do my thing. And of course, he didn't have as many cool arrows until the Hawkeye TV show. But yeah, it was one thing. I like how Jeremy Renner, worked with what he had, but I wanted snarky, sarcastic. I don't even notice that I don't have superpowers next to these guys. I'm so cool. Would have loved to see that for him. Stickman, what's going on? As much as I love 80s Joe, I think a live action movie would look too goofy. I mean, that's the beauty of G.I. Joe. It doesn't have to be. Just treat it. I mean, go all out with the costumes, the designs, the Cobra schemes, but you can still make that grounded. We watched Transformers. The Michael Bay Transformer films were pretty good G.I. Joe movies. I mean, Josh Duhamel, Tyrese, they were basically Duke and Stalker running around in a Transformers. It was like a crossover. So it can be done and it can work and can make sense. It's not a thing of too goofy. Just give them costumes. I mean, why did Flint not have a black t-shirt, shotgun shells, and beret and camo pants? How hard was that? 80s kid, I mean, all they need to do is read the Energon Universe, Duke and Cobra Commander, Transformers miniseries, and or not Transformers, it's an ongoing, but Joshua Williamson basically said, here, Hollywood, here's how you can do a G.I. Joe in the same universe as Transformers. Make it make sense. David Thanos wants to know, Joe came back in cartoon. Would you start fresh or continue from where it left off from the last time we saw it? I think the beauty of G.I. Joe is that you can quickly catch people up. I mean, you can't introduce something with like 100 characters. So I think you can just make it a quick thing like Hawk is leading the team and as needed per episode per arc. He calls in different specialists as needed in the pit. Maybe just looks out and sees the whole team and he starts kind of A-team style. Like for this mission, I'm calling in Flash, Spirit, Repeater, Wetsuit, and that's it. I mean, it could be so it's so frustrating to me because G.I. Joe is my gateway into comic books. Love the cartoon, love the figures, still do. So I feel like this is such an untapped thing where it's like this is the easiest property to adapt and have the fans be happy. That's all you got to do is lean into it harder. George said, I'd like to see Sabretooth in his all red X Factor suit. I have to check this look out. I don't remember that one, which is crazy. Lawson, I can't respect the Callisto figure has a perfectly straight nose. Should have that Paul Smith drawn broken snots. I'm with you on that. I thought so. She's built like a 14-year-old boat. Yeah. Yeah. Her having any curves is too curvy. I don't know what she was. George, they need to finish off the Thunderbolts team too. Absolutely. I mean, it's not but so many, right? David, I wonder the next ringside ultimate tag team of the Steiners would not surprise me. Look how long they took with Muda. I mean, it didn't take that long with Muda. I mean, I wasn't waiting years and years. I was very salty and just a little dash of pepper that we got those looks for the Steiners that we got. It's like, yo, no one cares about late era dog face gremlin Rick Steiner. Give us Varsity Club version if you want to go first with the solo run of him. That'd have been fine. Or yeah, I mean, just done that. And the Big Papa Pump, yeah, okay, whatever. But it's like, when you think of the Steiners, if you go, hey, we signed the Steiner brothers, you're not thinking solo run. You're thinking tag teams. And they have so many different looks. Not going to exhaust fans, collectors on them. They should have just done a tag team set. So hopefully we'll get to them before they don't make them anymore. Henry G, loved your video from earlier today. Thank you. About reissues, yay or nay? I'm definitely yay. Great video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah, the Callisto face is too pretty. That's probably the one time we'll complain about that with female figure. Afton Child. Hasbro should just bring the 12-inch figures back and just do 12-inch figures so that people turn giant. Agreed. I mean, that was kind of the thing when I was talking about the need for a Haslab Giant Man, that they could make a buck by making a smaller mold for the giant figures who don't need to be as tall as Giant Man, who can be that 12 to 14-inch scale. Not going to see them at retail, but they can make those exclusive to Pulse, a blank body, and just add on some parts as needed. And for most of them, they don't really need to add a whole lot. I really wish they would. Agent Chase Vigilante figure would look cool on my shelf. Excuse me, from who? Mafex? I think that would be really cool. X, OG Vigilante is my jam. Yes, Jamelin. Speaking of Vigilante, where's the McFarlane Multiverse version? They did him for superpowers. Where are comic book versions of him and Peacemaker? And Judo Master. I mean, what's up with all of them? Matthew, as far as reissues, I got the OG Moon Knight, but missed the black and white one. So I was glad to get him as a reissue. I missed out on Silver Surfer also, but I got a Haslab one. I'm glad others will get a chance to get him. Not two or two. I think that's what you're saying. Henry G, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Just a token of appreciation for your efforts, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I have been talking too long. It's 9 o'clock already and haven't done anything like normal. So let's get into it right now, Jalen. I don't think you asked yet, but I got Todd and Proto Spawn in this week, as well as Angel. Oh, and a handful of Delta 17 figures. I have not. Show me what they look like, please. Yeah. So what all did y'all get this week? I was able to get a figure. I finally completed my Honor Among Thieves Dungeons and Dragons figures. So I had to get him because I missed seeing him in stores and GameStop. So finally got him, used my $5 from GameStop rewards, a monthly deal. And he was on clearance, so that was helpful. So yeah, very happy about him. What y'all get? They do need to make Mimic. Mimic would be a fun figure, George. And throw in the wings from Angel. We're all set. Oh, if I said Nightcrawler twice, that is clearly because I'm biased and definitely need to put him on there. So then if I did say Nightcrawler twice, then throw Gambit on there with Banshee as my honorable mention character who can come in as needed. Battle Prime, I like Mafex to reissue that brown suit Wolverine. He's crazy expensive. Mafex looks out for us too in terms of the reissue, so that might not be a bad thing. And then they will get her. Henry G, do you think we'll ever see Shadowcat in the cartoon? I hope so. I love that blue outfit of hers. I've always loved Kitty. I know we got Jubes who kind of serves that role, but I would be okay if they made her older. Maybe Kate Pride, Peter. Yeah, yeah, that's the one thing about Jubilee is I would love a flashback episode. We could just get she wasn't an animated series. I would love to see them go like the X-Men cartoons where we just get a flashback episode. We've seen pictures of the original X-Men. I would love to see that team just in one episode, and then maybe another one on the Burn Cockrum Era Squad and Claremont. So no confusion. To have that team, the all-new squad. I mean, we got no spoilers. I would love to see that squad and those two squads represented in a flashback episode. So then we could ask for all of them in the line. Vin Doom, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. That was awesome. A little something for you. Thanks, Jeffrey, for the channel and the fun. It's all about being fun here. I mean, everything else is too serious in life. So why not talk about figures and have some fun? Jose Avinia, please tell me if I pronounce that right. We need a retro Hulk series. Seriously, why is that so hard? I mean, that wave is really easy. They could do 2 Hulk variants and then villains for Hulk because we really need them. Watcher, what do you think the chance of us getting a Winter Soldier Black Widow from Mafex is? Especially since we got Bucky and Cap already. Oh, that's weird. I didn't even know we hadn't had one from we hadn't gotten a Black Widow Winter Soldier version. I hope good. I mean, they just did put out the Cap, so I would think that's not impossible. Jose, we need a Hulk 2099, Immortal Hulk, a Retro Maestro from 90s, Punisher 2099. Yeah, with you. They do 14-inch Sentinels, and I would buy those too. Green Man, I want to update it Uncanny X-Men Scott. Yes. Jose says we need a Mafex Hulk. Which version? I mean, I think he'd be really tricky, but they have done some really cool versions of him from the MCU, and they almost sort of kind of work. The Watcher, I'm also hoping Mafex makes Invincible figures. They would knock that out of the park. They would, but gosh, I mean, Invincible needs like a Mattel to do their figures, or maybe Jada Toys to do them, because there's so many characters, and I don't want just the main 10. I want the whole, like when I was reading that the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many characters that would make awesome action figures. We haven't gotten any awesome action figures of Invincible. So I want somebody who was committed to doing it. You know, Todd would try, but no, he wouldn't make the articulation necessary to do these figures justice. Yeah, I would love to see that. Robert, Lightweight got Walmart exclusive Prowler and Secret Empire cap though. Nice. Judge Dreads. We got Storm Collectibles Goro in this week. What do you think? G-Brew 2023 Bucky cap. Got him from Nerdzoic. Ordered some books and a military surplus jacket from Army Navy. Nice. JT the Grind. Got like and got Target exclusive SH Figure Arts. Keikoen Goku. Man, I'm not into that at all. So don't laugh at me if I butcher the name, but that's cool. Northern Nomad, what's up? I just repurchased. It got Marvel Legends modular Iron Man 2020, and Iron Man Heroes Return. Those are cool. Very. You repurchased them. Did you sell them off like years ago? Like, I need these figures actually. Badger Wolf Prime. I traded and got a Figure Arts IG-11, much better scale than the Black Series offering. Well, that's good to know. I didn't even know that scale was that far off. Jose, we do need a Mafex Dark Side and Doomsday. I mean, I would hope with the return of Superman figures we're getting, we're going to see a Doomsday, hopefully, at least a Mongol. Oh, Austin, that's cool. I got 2 Hal Jordan Green Lantern figures and that questionable Aquaman figure from McFarlane last week, but nothing came in this week for me. By the way, I put the Barry Allen head on that Aquaman, but kind of small. That's no good. Judge Dreads. I got a cool Ultima Online Thorn figure. Very nice. All right, let's see here. Let me get into this. Retro Robo. Wow, I would love to see the original X-Men in a flashback. How about an X-Factor scene? Yes, while we're at it. Maybe the team will disperse after recent events and X-Factor can be formed. Yeah, I think they are kind of doing that. That would be fun. Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing, because the show is established there's so much X-Men history has happened before we picked up with it. So I'd love to see some flashbacks. Dark Knight 297, got 97 Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Classified Quick Kick, Retro Scarlet. You had a good week. I love all those figures. Vin Doom, Marvel Legends Angels was delivered yesterday. I really like it. Oh, and I got the Marvel Select Colossus. Thinking about getting Zorana. She's $12, I think, on Amazon. That's a great price for her. Yeah. Jay Woods, if Mafex makes a Mandarin like they did with Magneto, they could just take my wallet now. Henry GHF, did you build the totally awesome Hulk bath? I'm still working on it. Let me see. I have the comic book figure, so it's funny because I have the Hulk head right there on the side of my shelf there. Yeah. I have all the comic book figures. Oh, speaking of which, the comic book figures on that wave. Another figure I saw today when I was perusing through Walmart of all places, looking for the Ultimate Edition Rider Raider Piper and Bret Hitman Hart, was this guy. Check out this price. Walmart with an actual clearance. Oh man. Let's try that one more time. Let's see if you can see the price. There you go. $4.99. It's crazy. I've never seen figures of stuff I actually wanted at Walmart that cheap. Now, granted, I already have them, but that was shocking. Mezco would knock Hulk out the park. I wonder what the holdup is, because, I mean, geez, what's taking so long? And Beltran just added Astonishing Wolverine from Amazon. It was already sold out. Why must they toy with me? I don't know. Figured he would have been in stock longer. Blake, Jeff, you're onto something. If they do flashbacks and X-Men, then Marvel Legends can re-release the OG First Class team to make up for those. Oh gosh, that box set was so bad. And at that point, I was just buying everything. And I was like, no, not buying that. That is terrible. They all look bad. So yeah, for sure. Thrive would make, I mean, all of it would make great figures. We need somebody to do them. JC the Grind, speaking of reissues, you think they'll reissue the Amazon exclusive Sentinel since 97 is such a hit? Oh man, I don't remember which one the Sentinel was that was exclusive to them. Hopefully, I mean, I feel like the Sentinels are basically the X-Men army builders that they should constantly try to put out there. It just makes sense. So 16 Anarchist got classified Scarlet this week. She looks amazing. She does. Henry G. Be glad you're not into SHF Dragon Ball. What? Yeah, they seem cool. So I'm happy that I'm not into that one. I need to hold off on something. Undercover Colton got Jane Foster Thor comic not too long ago. Fun figure. I think they did a really good job on her. 80s kid. Hey Jeff, what Vintage collection figures are you looking forward to? Honestly, no. Lyingly, it's always funny when people say honestly. It's like I'm never honest except for this one moment. I haven't got any vintage collection figures in a long time, just because I don't know where I would put them. One, but two, I like the 6-inch scale better for my display setup. Um, yeah, like none, because I feel like the prices are too comparable to the Black Series. Also, on my runs around the world, I saw some more clearance at Target. This may shock you all, but the hologram Bo-Katan is now 839. I think that is. Yeah, 839. 70% off for Bo-Katan in the hologram form. So people just don't want those figures. So yeah. I would hop on that deal so quick, and I'm not even a huge Neiman's fan. He's a little bit too tall, but he's a really good figure otherwise. But yeah, he's taller than Black Bolt. Vin Doom, I'm surprised they haven't made in Pantheon any Pantheon figures when the Hulk was running with them. I feel like they haven't been in prominence, but I would buy those figures because that was really cool. And get Hulk with the bunny slippers too. David Thanos found a case of the Monday Night War Ultimates. Love that Piper had to get the head from Elite 94 Brett to put on the new Ultimate. Seems like Brett head is the only one we're going back. Yeah, it's so weird. But that Monday Night Wars Brett head sculpts, all three of them look bad, which is like impressive. So yeah, I still need to find these guys. I've actually been going to Walmart trying to find them. No success at all. I do have that one. Still need to open it. Yes, thank you. Okay, hopefully they do. I mean, they should crank those out. Blake, if anyone can do a thunderclap and Hulk, it's Mafex. First company to do that would make millions. Did we get that with the original one? I mean, with the original Marvel Legends Hulk? I mean, I thought that was the whole point of that figure. It got me curious because I feel like I was able to sort of kind of do that. That's what it is. Whoops. Sorry. All right, let's see here. Hulk Series 1. All right, let's see. So now I have to see if anyone did that pose because I felt, well, when it's the first time getting a super articulated figure, it's like, oh, this is amazing. Let me see here. All right, shoot. Yeah, I was trying to find it, and I saw some good pictures on the push, but the push is still down. Hopefully, Pabs and the gang you get those back up because love reading the push, and some unfortunate is down again. Hopefully, they get it back up. But I thought because the shoulders were so bad on the back that he could do it, sorta. So I thought that was the case. The one thing about going a week without action figures is this: I'm finally winning the war on cardboard in my house. Gee, bro, those hologram figures were such a waste of plastic. In Beltran, we should be getting an updated Gladiator on the Hercules buck. Yes, make that happen. Roberts, those holograms, I get the idea, but I think they should have limited them a bit and released one at a time so people could get them easy and they probably sell better. I wonder if they would have sold it all, but it's whatever. Lost, and I'd love to see Marvel Legends do the Gladiator from Daredevil with the buzz blades on his wrist. I would buy that figure too. Thank you for the barcode for Piper. A lot of the stores have it stashed in back because Roman is clogging up the shelves. My stores don't have any. So maybe I need to go to one Walmart with the helpful employees. So we'll see. All right. Oops. How would I fix the Black Series? I'd love to hear your thoughts before I make a video about it. I need to do a video on it too because I feel like I did one a while back, but I don't feel like they have done much to address those changes that I said. All right, real fast before I get into the topic, which I'm already late on, let's go through what we saw this week. So McFarlane gave us the ambush bug for the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line. I think they did a really good job with the parts they have available. I think this is the skinniest buck they've got in the arsenal. What's really cool is no boot lines for ambush bug. How about that? That's really great. It looks solid. I mean, I don't know what else they could have done with this figure, but they got it. And for a change, they have card art that matches the figure perfectly. I mean, the expression is the same. Great job there. And he didn't have a lot of accessories, but he has all the things that an ambush figure would need. So very cool. Nice to see that. And great job. Moving on, got Booster Gold from Futures End. Do not want or care about this figure. It's just a bad design. I know people are like, wait, this figure is awesome. It's accurate to Futures End, which is not my favorite crossover or event from DC. Mr. Freeze looks good. This is probably the one I'll try to get just because I think they did a good job with him. And the globe for his dome for his head. It looks fun. Like the colors. Good job with that. If you missed out earlier, Entertainment Earth has the Hawkeye Marvel Legends Tracksuit Mafia figures sort of in stock. They're on back order, but you can still add to cart. So when they get them back in stock, I know some of you all wanted this figure. So there you go. Mezco released or put up their images for the Captain America figure. This looks really cool. I think they did a nice job. Got a little Kirby head sculpt there. It's always cool to see. A nice unmasked sculpt. Unmasked. And here you go with the basic stern look. So that looks cool. Got all kinds of effects as usual from them. And we got the Silver Age look with the shorts. That looks a little weird to me, but it is accurate to the look. So there you go. Really fun look. There he is. We saw images courtesy of Joey Fennell of Raptor from the Classified series. That looks cool. It's going to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Hopefully it won't be too hard and too impossible to find for everybody who wants him. I don't know if there'll be the same outrage of not getting him as there is some other ones. And then really fast on the roundup of stuff, we got the transforming, I want to say Robotussin, the Roboson Robotics transforming Megatron. The CGI picture there. And here's what he looks like. Really cool. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but these Transformer robots are pretty cool. And Megatron's got a lot of cool stuff. No gun mode. He's just transforming into a tank. My old school sensibilities is having so much trouble with Megatron as a tank. It's like, I know, we're not going to get him transforming into a gun, but it's just still weird. Anyway, let's see what you all thought real fast. The Watcher. Yeah, I'm too deep, overwhelmed by all the re-releases. All the releases. It's hard to catch and easy to miss some stuff. So hard these days. Marvel fan, if you were to come across the X-Men First Class box set, what do you think would be a reasonable price for it? Can't be like $1, $10. Has to be reasonable. I don't know. I would not buy that set at all. I think the molds they've done are better, and just I'm hoping they do a new set because those figures, the head sculpts look bad. The paint is more orange than yellow. I mean, it's just really bad all around. And Angel's head looks really bad. I think Iceman's probably the best one because we can't see his face. But yeah, they'd have to pay me to buy that set. Thank you, Jalen. Yeah, the first Toy Biz Hulk could clap. In fact, there was a version a little bit different than She-Hulk with Megan Thee Stallion. In fact, there was a version with somewhat awkward, splayed out rubber hands. Yep. I think the other one just had closed fists, if I remember correctly. You are remembering correctly. Did see that picture that popped up. George, what Capcom game aside Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is Amigo from? Help me out on the chat, gang. Hope Jada Toys can get to those Capcom figures after Street Fighter 2 is complete. Yes. Dang, that dude needs to eat more. This is how he looked in the comics, 80s kid. Jalen, the Bukas are the first thing I looked for. Yeah, exactly. It's like, you did it. It is possible. Green Man, funny how they nailed a character most people do not know. Man, they need to read because he was fun. I need that Captain America. Tracksuit Mafia now says in stock. That's cool. Go get him, guys. Lord Megatron looks awesome. David Thanos can the Ghost Rider pre-order get here already. Tuesday at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Get ready. Green Man. We can't have Megatron turn into a gun from a kid show we still air and profit from. Hasbro. The Watcher. I passed on the She-Hulk, still waiting on her purple and white outfit from the Civil War story. That's my classic She-Hulk look. That's amazing. The Civil War is your classic She-Hulk look. Wow. That I mean, it's been long enough that it could be people's classic look for it, but wow. That there's so many outfits of hers before that one. Man, it's something. I figured Ambush Bug would come with one of those Superman movie belts. Get lost in just some ridiculous stuff like why Todd? Why does he have Batman's gloves just repainted green? All right, so I asked the question this week, like I did last week. If you had to convince somebody, Mafex is the ultimate. They're the ones to buy for all your figure needs. What are the top 5 Mafex figures you would tell someone to pick up? It'd be a worthwhile purchase for them. Let me get this before I forget. Blake says, that is going to be my first ever Ghost Rider figure. I'd pick over that one. The more OG version with Red Chopper. Get to it. But this one is great too. It is. All right, let's see. Let's get into what you all chose. Matthew said top 5 Mafex. Number 5, Poison Ivy. I still need to get her, but she looks exactly how she should look. Number 4, Hush. Hush Joker. Sorry. I'm about to say, don't say a word. Number 3, Catwoman Hush. Yeah, she's a great figure. Number 2, Nightwing. Number 1, Blue Suit Batman Reissue. Got all those. I'm not quite sure which one of my Blue Suit Batman is. I think it's the regular one. Savage Land, my Mafex top 5. Number 5, Steel. Oops, my Mafex top 5. Steel, Dark Knight Superman, Black Suit Spider-Man, Comic Magneto, and Gambit. Solid choices. Blake says, I only have 2 Mafex figures, mostly because of their classic offerings and how I collect based on nostalgia. Iron Man with the huge gun and roller skates. Yes, that was so cool. And Thor. This Thor was small, though. That was the one thing I was like, oh, no. I was really considering getting Iron Man, Thor, and Cap. But then Thor was too small. I was like, ugh. It took me out of it. Excuse me. G. Bruce says top 5 Mafex. Jim Lee Cyclops. Cyclops. Excuse me. What do you think about the X Factor one? That looks cool to me too. Magneto, Gambit, Psylocke, Hush, Soups, honorable mention, Huntress. Nice. Let's see. Sorry, just clearing this up real fast. All right, there we go. Now back to the other ones. Lost in. I remember when She-Hulk had her classic white torn nightgown, Flintstones. Yes. And no shoes. I don't know what happened to her shoes. Judge Dredd's only have 1 Mafex. Which one? The Watcher. I would think it's her modern classic look too. Yeah. Badger Wolf Prime, Hush Batman, Nightwing, Cyborg Superman, Wolverine Brown, Boba Fett. Where? I'm sorry. Bad habit of doing that every time someone says Boba Fett. Roberts, Infinite Realms, top 5 Mafex. Hush Superman, Magneto, Hush Batman, Steel and Cyborg Superman. Yes. Basically the ones I own. So I have everyone except Magneto, which I feel like everyone says is the best Magneto figure. What are you doing not getting that? So maybe I need to go ahead and get him. But yeah, I love the Steel, the Cyborg Superman. Maybe I'll put the Mafex figures on that space there. Lost in my top 5 Mafex are Batman, Hush, Blue, and Gray. That's all I got from them. Quick list. Retro Robo. I can only speak to the ones I bought. So Hush Superman, Cyborg Superman, Hush Batman, and Steel. They're solid choices. Retro Robo, I couldn't get down the Mafex Marvel figures because I didn't feel they fit with my Legends, although I do have Psylocke. What do you think of Psylocke? Is she totally not working for you? Marvel fan. I do not have Mafex, but from what I know, 5 Wolverine, 4 Magneto, 3 Carnage, 2 Hush, 1 Gambit. Green Man, top 5 are 5 Hush Harley, 4 Huntress. With a custom job I got for her to have her booty shorts, it would be number 1 now. Number 3, Harley Quinn, 2 Poison Ivy, 1 Classic Spider-Man. Honorable mention, The Dark Knight Returns, Carrie Kelly. Yeah, I thought they did a nice job with her. Roberts, that Magneto is next level and won me over to Mafex. I feel like everybody loves that figure. Oops. Snake Eyes says Black Noir, Billy Butcher, Hush, Catwoman, Gambit, the Batman, Robert Pattinson version. First vote for him. That's cool. G Brew, the only thing holding that X Factor Cyclops back is the lack of a proper cowl. I thought that was the case. Instead, has a Jim Lee style mask with his hair out. Give me the cowl. In a lot of issues, he had that look. Even in Infinity Gauntlet, he had the cowl down, so I understood. I was just kind of wondering if they did not actually have the cowl up version, because it kind of makes sense. Jamless says Mafex is really difficult to narrow down to 5. I'll try in no particular order. Steel, Cyborg, Superman, Magneto, Superman. Oh no, is that 5 already? I didn't even mention Huntress, Nightwing, Batman, Carnage, Batman. Which Batman is that one? Dark Knight, Batman, and Robin. Harley. Oh, you get the idea. So I have the DC icons. Yeah, icons, Harley Quinn. And I feel like she scales pretty well with the Mafex figures. But should I go and get this Mafex version? Because I see she's not too expensive. May want to get her. So let me know. Stickman. I only had 3 Mafex. So I'll go with Steel, Cyborg Superman, and Dark Knight Superman. Hoping for a Green Lantern someday. Kyle or John. So that's funny because I was like, yes, me too. I want Hal. And then John and Guy Gardner, Kyle, Simon Bass, Jessica Cruz. You get the idea. But yeah, I'll take those guys too. Retro Robo. Psylocke fits well because she's a slim female figure, but that Thor and even Magneto seem too small. Roberts. Mafex Psylocke is an incredible figure and fits great with Legends. Cool. Can y'all show me pictures of her with them? She's the one I was kind of like, these versions we have from Hasbro are okay, but I was really curious how she fits with Marvel Legends. Jay Lakers, nice. 32. Minor Batman Hush Blue, Hush Superman, Tiger Stripe Wolverine. 185 Spider-Man. Which one is 185 Spider-Man? And Gambit. Yeah, I think Gambit's a pretty popular one too. Roberts. Magneto's actually bigger than the X-Men 97 version. So no issues with mixing. That's good. Like Javelin Parks, always habitually stepping over the line. Habitual line stepper. When he only was 5. I mean, you can go with more. David Thanos, you have an in-game style battle. You have the whole field to pick from. 5 heroes and 5 villains. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was reading it and not reading it like a question. Let's see. I'm trying to see here how hard I want to go with this. All right, because I was like, I want to throw in Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. 5 heroes: Superman, Cyclops. Let me try to mix up powers so I don't have the same thing out there. Superman, Cyclops. Let's see. Wolverine. He is the best that he is at what he does. What he does isn't very nice. So I got 2 more. Let me see. I'm gonna stick to 1. I'll stick to 1 X-Men. So Superman, Captain America, Wolverine, another hero. Let's see. John Stewart, Green Lantern. And number 5, where do I want to go? Oh, I don't have a bruiser. The Thing. There you go. Villains. Doctor Doom. I feel like that's cheating. Lex Luthor. Let's see. Who else then? Where else would I go with that? Sinestro. He's such a great villain. And probably need another Marvel villain. So let's see. Who would make sense there? Ultron. And finally, let's go back to DC. Joker, just to throw it out and make it crazy. Marvel fan wants to know what is my favorite stream I've ever done. Well, it's crazy because this one right now is episode 299. And I was like, oh no, I messed up. This should have been the big milestone 300. So I decided I have a good idea for that one. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, the one that had the most views. That's my favorite. No, I don't know. I enjoy doing all these, so I don't have a favorite. I just enjoy talking, hanging out with you guys. So probably more of the lives, but I like doing them solo too. So that was a non-answer. I apologize. Afton Child says Hush himself, Huntress, Black Noir, Hush, Batman, Hush, Poison Ivy. Good choices. What? I gave 5. You decided to read the second post. Who am I to stop me? Retro Robo. Also, Tiger Stripe Wolverine skewed a little too close to the Marvel vs. Capcom look for me. His claws are so long. When they retract them, it's going to his shoulders. It was funny how they kept getting longer all the time. Jeeber, the Mafex, Magneto, Psylocke, and Gambit are my main X-Men display. They scale great with Legends. Well, that is very good to know, especially in the case of Gambit. Green Man, I would have had Storm in there, but her belt's paint bleeds into the white suit, so that is no good, especially for that price point. Jeremy Kulo, how you doing, Jeremy? The Mafex Birds of Prey caution tape Harley is a good figure. That is a cool figure, and it's one where it's like, I don't know who was asking for it, but they really knocked it out. I had the Hush Harley, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman as well. Gotham City Sirens. Did you read that title? I enjoyed it for a while. I read every post, Blake. I really tried to, but it's everyone. 80 Skip wants to know what are my thoughts on the Cantina aliens for the Black Series. I think they're cool, but they aren't figures I need. I think they're cool, but I don't anticipate Hasbro ever losing the Star Wars license. But let's say that magical time came, I would be really upset if I had a Hammerhead before I had a Chancellor Palpatine or Darth Sidious figure in my Black Series collection. So I reference this all the time, but I think it's really like the whole point of my, like, hey, you guys need to get the important characters out. I look at my DC Classics line, I'm like, yeah, I got a Commandy and I've got an OMAC, but I don't have a complete Justice Society, either version, vintage, classic, or modern. And I would have much rather had those figures. I would have had a complete JLI squad with a better version of Rocket Red than the one we have, the Rogues. So they're random characters that it's like, why do I have this in the collection instead of XYZ? So for me, Cantina aliens are cool. I know people want them, but I don't want it to be a case where they drag out important characters, or at least important to me, and not ever get to them. Retro Robo says Mafex Gambit looks amazing though. I might break down for that one. Jibru, same. All of my DC figures are Mafex. Well, I should reverse that. All of my Mafex figures are DC. Lost. The problem with Mafex figures is some of y'all are eating steak. Some of me is eating Salisbury frozen TV dinners. Wish I could afford everything I want, but I have nowhere to put things. That guy says Mafex is better than McFarlane. It depends on what you want. If you want figures that you can get in stores and not have to pay 80 to 100 bucks, McFarlane's better, but just definitely your preference. Dark Knight 297 says my Mafex top 5. Number 1, Hush Nightwing. It's a great figure. Dark Knight Returns Superman. Number 2. Number 3, Wolverine Brown. 4, Gambit. 5, Hush Batman Blue. So what's the deal with the Mafex Wolverine? Was it just a preference in terms of the blue or the tiger stripe one? The tiger stripe one, or the brown and orange? Because didn't they just repaint them? It would seem like that would make sense, but were there changes to the mold? Lawson, exactly. If their price tags, guys, they gotta be better. They're way better than front. They need to be, because you do not need to pay $100 and it not be as good as a $25 figure. Marvel fan, it is fine. How you don't have a favorite stream? You've been doing it for a while. 300 is an amazing milestone. Thank you. I'm surprised I've been talking as much about figures. And you guys have been watching for 300 almost episodes. Jalen, that Icon's Harley's pretty great. They're actually pretty similar. I don't know if you need it. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. She scales perfectly. I was like, I don't know if I need her. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. Retro Robo. Lawson, I'm right there with you, bro. At least you got Salisbury steak. I'm eating ramen. You've got so much variety, though. You'll never get tired of them. Matthew. All right, let me get my I'm gonna figure this out here. Radamanthus. Maybe so. Matthew, let me know if I butchered your name. Hey Jeffrey, I'd like to see your Mafex Death of Superman wish list come true. Seriously. I mean, they've done such an amazing job on those figures, and it's like, oh, come on, there's just a few more. And I can keep adding. I feel like I need to do another Mafex wish list because I need to help them go forward. I mean, if we're gonna get some more, that Green Lantern is essential. Mongol for sure. And Doomsday just because I know he's not part of he's kind of part of the storyline. He is in there. He does make an appearance. Get a Lois Lane because why not? Supergirl. And then redheaded, not stepchild, Lex Luthor, Alexander Luthor. So yeah, get them and whatever other heroes you'd like to throw into for sure. Marvel fan, how long do you think Marvel Legends Hasbro line can keep going? Why? I mean, geez, I could come up with a list of 200 figures if I had the time. If I only had the time. Shout out Thunderbolt Patterson. There's no reason that they should ever be like, oh man, we're done. They keep the figures at a reasonable price point. Do what they've been doing for these last year and a half with the figures. I guess a year from midpoint of 2023 to right now. Just keep doing that level of quality. Collectors are not going to go, we're done with you. We're over it. I think more people will probably get into the line, especially as they re-release figures that newcomers are like, oh man, I was so mad I didn't get this. Now I get another shot at it. So I just think they got to keep coming with the great quality product and take advantage of these moments, these lulls in between the MCU stuff, because I think that kind of derailed them a little bit, especially since people weren't feeling the multiverse saga films like they were the Infinity Saga. So when you have your comic book focus lines, you need them all to be strong releases, like the Build-A-Figure, Zabu Wave, X-Men 97 figures. Just keep them rolling, and I think they'll be fine for a long time. Undercover Colton. Yeah, same here. I have some pricey figures, but sometimes I just tell myself to wait for a Legends version. It is the tricky thing of trying to like, can I wait on this one? This one really looks good. And I feel like, at least for me with the Marvel ones, Marvel Legends does such a good job with, let's say 90% of the figures, that a Mafex version needs to be really special for me to go, I got to upgrade and do this one. And the price difference for those figures is not nearly as wide as that chasm is the DC figures. I'm like, yes, whatever, Mafex. You put out a DC Comics figure, I'm there. But I mean, because the McFarlane ones are totally different scale, so I can do both. But the Marvel Legends, I'm happy with what they're doing. And the Mafex figures look cool. I think if the price were a little bit cheaper, I'd probably buy more, though. Excuse me. Jamon, I missed it. Did someone name Hush in their top 5? They did. Hush was the only Mafex figure that I have that disappointed me. His articulation is pretty limited, and I think they dropped the ball on his coat. His coat is tricky because I don't know how to pull that off, that whole trench coat look. Would you rather they do something with like they did with Gambit? But I feel like with Hush, molding that is essential because it's just the way it looks in the comic books. So yeah. Badger Prime says, I have to admit that there are times when my inner minimalist is at odds with my collection taking up so much space. It's the eternal struggle, isn't it? Matthew, the claws, Jeffrey. Mafex Wolverine has better claws. Yeah, well, that would definitely help. I feel like they're doing pretty good with some of the Marvel Legends Wolverine claws, where it's not like they're one's here, the other one's there, and the other's going all kinds of directions. Lawson, I want Mezco 112 Spidey, the Fantastic Four, Doom, same, because they look really cool. Jibru, last year they showed prototypes for Mafex, Age of Apocalypse, Cyclops, and Weapon X. The Weapon X already had paint, and Cy was still grayscale. I really want that Age of Apocalypse Cyclops. Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse Cyclops was not great. I agree. It was a huge letdown and definitely one of those figures. I was like, what did you do? That was terrible. I think I can find that picture quicker. Yes. Ha! Let's give it up to putting stuff in order. All right, good stuff. Here you go. You mentioned it because I actually did this well enough. Here is the Age of Apocalypse Mafex Wolverine, which does look cool. And Marvel Legends one's okay, but this one could be an upgrade as well. And yeah, that Cyclops is going to be an upgrade because that Bucky cap mold for that Cyclops, terrible choice. And this could be one I would buy because I really loathe how that Marvel Legends one turned out. Undercover Colton. Oh yeah, I keep telling myself I don't need Doom, but he's Doom. Gotta get him right. Green Man. I have the icons Harley Quinn too, and I think the Mafex one is a good enough. It's a good upgrade. The red is bright. Thank you. Okay, so maybe if I stumble into some extra money, I can track her down. David Thanos, 5 heroes, Superman, Morph, good choice. Wolverine, Storm. See, Storm, I was really close to. I was like, yeah, and Spawn, that's fine. 5 villains: Magneto, Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix, Ultron, and Mumra. Nice. JL, I'm saying JL Lakers. J Lakers 32. The Tiger Stripe Wolverine had long claws and the stripes were sculpted, and the brown suit had better claws. Oh wow. Okay, so they really put in the work for him. Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate it. Who you got for the draft? I don't know yet. It's recording right now. Snake Eyes. I would like Mafex to do Red Hood, but the one problem I'm going to have with that figure is they're going to have guns, right? I don't think that Mafex didn't have a problem with their figures coming with guns. Retro Robo, a Mafex Nightcrawler could be a lot of fun. He's already a slim build, so it could fit in well with my Legends. Don't want to bamf. The fact that I'm sold, that would be really cool. Lost and Marvel Legends hasn't covered more than 45% of the Marvel universe. If that, I mean, there's so many characters, even among those big ones that you mentioned here. The X-Men, Spider-Man, the Avengers, they need to do other stuff. I mean, geez. There's still probably a good 20 Avengers they haven't done. The Spider-Man supporting cast is arguably the most important supporting cast in comics. So there's a lot of them. And there's still, I mean, gosh, there's so many teams of X-Men that they still have yet to do. I mean, X Factor, the original looks haven't been touched. So, yeah. And then there are more Fantastic Four characters, Midnight Suns, Ghost Rider characters, Hulk. It's like a whole wide spectrum of Hulk characters that are still left to be done. So, yeah, I mean, there's so much left. Dark Knight 297 says the claws on the Mafex brown Wolverine are the curved, sharp ones and are shorter. Looks more like they can go into his arms. Thank you. Okay, cool. So that's interesting. They really put in the work for him. Lawson, Hulk has like 2 or 3 villains. He should have 3 dozen or more represented. Yeah, I mean, him alone, right? Matthew, yes. Lois Lane, Tom Grummett style. Yes, Tom Grummett gets mentioned on the chat. Nice. I thought Tom's art for all the teenage superheroes was the best because he was able to make Superboy look like a teenager and he wasn't like a short adult. And I love whenever he got to draw Tim Drake, Robin, Impulse, and shoot CM3. His stuff was so good. Big fan of him. Thank you for shouting him out. Jim Lee Hush Superman, his head is so small. I know it's Lee's style, but I feel Mafex Jurgen's recovery suit has better proportions. It does. And I like to see a Dan Jurgens Superman too. Chibru, I want a Lois Lane figure so badly. But the crazy thing is how few Lois Lane figures we actually have from anyone. It's the craziest thing because it's like she's the most important supporting character and we don't have any. So just to show you how few we've gotten, quick Google search the Superman animated series version essential. We've got this one, and this is the only Lois Lane I've got. This one from the 2-pack And yeah, this is my Lois Lane figure. It is ridiculous that I have her. She's the only Lois that I got on this scale. And it's just like, why do we not have numerous Lois Lane figures? It's crazy. And I guess they did do this version, but no, thank you. I just want a modern version of Lois. Is that too much to ask? Apparently so. But yeah, I don't get it. Hopefully somebody will get her to her. Get her to us. There we go. Let's rearrange those words. Soul Train style. Let's make a full sentence. Snake Eyes says Mafex should do a release of Hush and give him a fabric coat. Don't know what she's saying about the tie there, 80s kid. Henry G, secrets to be able to afford collecting in 2024. Don't start a family or have kids that are all grown up. Decent paying job, and most importantly, don't tell your wife or husband how much you really make. Yeah, you can spend like other half of your salary on figures. Matthew, me too. I want a Lois Lane. I take a Hush Lois too. Right. Although I think they should do Superman Unchained so that we can get a Jim Lee Wonder Woman. Yes, it's I feel like they stick to storylines. So I'm trying to think of what storylines make the most sense for them to adapt and do a whole theme outside of doing. Let's do Crisis on Infinite Earth. Let's do Final Crisis. Let's do Infinite Crisis. But yeah, I mean, it's weird. I feel like we need a Wonder Woman comic book version from them. Green Lantern, Flash is overdue. Green, I mean, we just need the Justice League represented, and I'll be happy-esque. But then we can start branching out to some other teams, and yeah, I just don't understand it. Lawson, Leader and Abomination are nice, but where are the UFOs exactly? Leaders, robot goons, Bi-Beast, Enforcer, Zaz, Tyrannus, Gargoyle, etc., etc. Yes. Roberts, I feel the same. I'm fine with retro carded Gambit. Don't need to put down that much for Mafex version, no matter how good it is. Yeah. Jamelin, Marvel Mafex figures are a very calculated purchase for me. I only have a select few, usually purchased on sale. DC, on the other hand, I think I've only passed on one or two so far. Yeah. Exactly. Judge Dreads. I feel like Mafex is on the small end of 112 scale. So yeah, so the price is hard compared to what you get in that price range, like Storm. Yeah. G Brew. How hard is it to do a proper Age of Apocalypse Cyclops? Yes. Superman for the future. Superman for the future? Oh, is that where Wonder Woman showed up, Matthew? Yeah, the Age of Apocalypse Wolverine does look good, Snake Eyes. Undercover Colton. I love his ass figure. I think the problem is they don't know how to execute that figure. And admittedly, that one seems like a pretty hard figure to pull off because they have tried. Not them, Toy Biz did. But yeah. Let's see if I can spell that figure. Let's see here. All right, let's see. How many Z's is that? No, it's just all Z's. All right, let's see if I can pull this up to show that original Hulk villain. Zax. Okay, let's try that. And let me try. Well, this is very exciting podcasting, I'm sure. My apologies. Let's see. Toy Biz. Zax. Okay. All right, cool. Great. It showed up because I took all this ridiculous time because this figure was really hard for them to do. And I understand why. I don't know if we can make this work. I mean, he looks like a Cheeto and it's just so tough because, I mean, how do you make an electrical ball of energy basically in humanoid form into a figure that makes sense and looks good and people aren't going, this is terrible. So I don't know if we'll ever get that one. George, DC icons scale well with legends? No. They're small. Let me see here. I don't think I actually took a picture with them when I did my Marvel Legends reviews. But come see toys, Jason. Actually, I did. That's funny. Yeah, Jeffrey Lyles over Lyles Movie Files did take a picture of that so I can show you exactly how they scale. It's a smaller picture. And this is before I was actually getting better at this, so bear with me. That's the DC Icons Batman. That's the Pizza Spider-Man Marvel Legends figure. So totally out of scale. And this is kind of one of the problems that doomed the DC Icons line. They were in scale, and this is a pizza Spider-Man buck, so it's not the biggest. And see how slight and small the Batman is next to him. They're just totally non-compatible, and it's unfortunate because I think if they were the same height and size, people would have been all over this line. But unfortunately, they didn't, so it kind of got you. Henry G, I would only collect Mafex, but you're not going to get any deep cuts and long time in between releases. But can we get a Hush, Tim Drake, Robin already? Exactly. They could easily do a bomb figure from an Armadillo Bath. They could. Do you want a bomb figure, Judge Dreds? Lawson, I can't be the only one who wants an Arabian Night with flying carpet figure from Marvel Legends, a childhood favorite. Probably not. I'm sure there's some other people who want it. Undercover Cult. What? I've never heard of him. He sounds super cool. Green Man. Oh, yeah. The Mafex figure is done. Come with guns too. DC don't come with guns too. There we go. Jalen. Hush Joker had a gun. I think some of the Batman movie figures have guns too. I don't think Mafex figures are considered toys. Let me see. You guys are always making me go. Let's see. I think you're right though. Let me see here. Mafex DC. It's probably the fastest, easiest way to do it. Let's see who else would have a gun that would be used from them. That is a dumb rule, though. I mean, just they're comic book characters, and if we're seeing them with guns in the comic books, I don't think if we're buying $100 figures, we need to worry about them not coming with guns. I couldn't find it fast enough. Jalen, Tom Grummett did my favorite Superboy. Really. Had a big poster drawn by him in my room as a kid. He just mentioned Superboy Robin as some type of, I mean, he was so great drawing those teen characters. It was Humberto Ramos also did really cool versions of the three: Impulse, Robin, Superboy. But Tom Grummett was the undisputed master of those teenage characters. Marvel fan. Jeffrey, top 5 Marvel teams. Yeah, let's see. 5. This is really easy. Giant size, all new X-Men, Avengers. Let's see. I'll try to narrow it down. The Kurt Busiek, George Perez era. Outback X-Men, X Factor. Yeah, let's see. I feel like I'm missing. Oh, Fantastic Four. Kirby, Lee. And you said DC. Morrison, Porter, JLA, JLI. Wait, there you go. JLI, McGuire, Demetes, and Giffen. Let's see. Giffen, Legion of Superheroes. And we got 2 more spots. So let's see where I want to go with that. Oh, geez, I gotta forget them. Perez Wolfman, New Teen Titans. And the last team, I really feel like I'm missing one. Oh, geez. The Justice Society from Jeff Johns. There's some other better DC, not better, other DC teams that I like as well, but those are my top 5 that immediately came to mind. Lawson. When I was drawing Superman animated series kid books for DC, I loved drawing Lois. She had the best salty expression. She did. Or the Nomad. Nothing to lose, but everything to gain with Lois Lane. Dude, why do we not have more figures of her? Happy accident. Yo. Love Mafex. Get 2 to 4 a year. Because that's the only ones they put out. But yeah, absolutely. Green Man and the Age Where companies say they're for strong women. They are for strong women. And we have no Lois Lane. Maybe the movie will help us get some. Although Lois has been in all the Superman movies and still no figures. Like she's one. I mean, I know, it's a boring civilian figure, but I feel like Lois is one of those top tier that, everyone knows that you could make a figure and be all good. Like there's Lois, Commissioner Gordon, Alfred, J. Jonah Jameson, maybe Lex Luthor, civilian figure, Aunt May. I think those are. Trying to think if there's another one that is really mainstream that people would know, and Jimmy Olsen, Perry White. So I mean, those are characters who, they're not their traditional comic book characters, but we should get more figures of them. Snowglare just started watching Superman and Lois. Kind of weird that show has no toys. I don't know if they thought it was going to do much of anything to warrant toys, but they were kind of slow on this, and I guess McFarlane didn't think there's a need for them either. She Bruce right there. Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Perry White are essential Superman characters. Where are they? I mean, and you could also say Jonathan and Martha Kent. I would have figured with the Smallville hype, we would have gotten more figures of them simply because they were on a TV show every week for a while. So yeah, I don't get it. Lawson, Zaz needs to be translucent yellow plastic and it needs jagged pieces. Oh, not jagged little pill. Sticking out all over front to back. I can sculpt it. They can sculpt it. I want to see what you did then. Judge Dredd says Zaz can easily be done translucent plastic with some angles in it, orange or yellow paint apps. All right, so here we go. Gradual Prime, Lawson beat me to it. Translucent is the answer. Jalen says if I were designing them, Zaz would be made of translucent yellow plastic with some dark painted areas, sort of a negative look, not unlike what they did with Ragnarok. Well, there you go. All right, so here we go. Lawson, you couldn't do Zaz with the old way of doing figures, but 3D modeling is 100% possible. George, oh yeah, they're way too small. McFarlane is too big. We need a figure line that's just right. And I think Mafex is pretty close or close enough. Northern Nomad, Mattel DCUC scales better with Marvel Legends. Yeah, they do, but whew, it's hard putting those two together now because maybe when we had, let me say maybe, because the Toy Biz versions were so highly detailed, they didn't look right next to the Mattel DC figures. And then when Hasbro started kind of early on, I felt like the comparisons were better. But now Hasbro's up their game with the sculpting, and it's like, they don't fit well either. And that's why I think Mafex is probably the best choice for DC figures. They can match up well with your Marvel Legends. Matthew, I think icons increase height a little with the line. Yeah, I mean, that was absolutely their biggest problem. It's like, well, I mean, there are lots of problems. I'm working on a video on like writing down the issues, but yeah, it's that line should have been going still. Marvel fan, just sub to Lyle's movie files. Never knew you had that channel. Yeah, every Wednesday, Chief, Jace, my little brother, sometimes Devon and Gunner show up and we talk about X-Men 97, movies, other TV shows. So it's a fun time. Some of you guys are here on there with us. So all the rest of you are welcome to check it out too. Great man. The Mafex Joker had a gun, but when it was shipped, it was removed. That's no good. See Undercover Colton? I'm about to head out too. So Harry G, I would love to see Mafex tackle a Rock of Ages line or Tower Babel, please. Those are two really great storylines. Jamlin, yes. Got to give my boy Todd Nuck a shout out for iconic versions of the DC teens as well. This Young Justice run, absolutely. Definitely need to give him a shout out because great work. And he did it again when they just brought back all those sidekicks that we never knew about in that Jeff Johns Stargirl miniseries, The Lost Children, something like that. Really good art and totally made for easy buy-in for those characters. Lawson, first thing Hasbro needs to know, Zaz is an energy character, not a fire character. You might start with that. Toy Biz didn't even get that right. You're right. David Thanos, the A-Team should have been on top 5 teams of all time. That's true. He didn't specify, did he? Matthew, after seeing Zaz, McFarlane, I need Mafex to do Nightfall Zaz. Slam Psychotic. Yes. X, have a great weekend, my friend. Where's Alfred? Commissioner Gordon. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, if they're going to do a hush line all the way, Commissioner Gordon and Alfred are necessary. George, would like a Devil Dinosaur in your Legends collection. How big would you want it to be? See, then it gets tricky because it's like, how? I mean, do I need that space for Devil Dinosaur? Do I want it the same size as Giant Man? Which it would kind of seem like it would make sense. And then in which case, it's got to be wide and big, and then it's taking up too much shelf space. So I don't know. That'd be a tricky one for me. Jamelin, a truly well done Lois figure should also have some cool accessories. Look how popular every April O'Neil figure is. Exactly. She's a civilian. And NECA has no problem cranking her figures out. excuse me, Judge says the only way to sell Lois Lane is in a 2-pack because she will peg warm by herself. I never buy civilian characters. If only there was a character that made sense to put Lois Lane in a 2-pack with. I mean, they can put any version of Superman they want. People would buy it. Retro Robo, McFarlane too big, Mafex too small. Where's my Goldilocks DC figures? I feel like I'll never get to do an X-Men team. Such a great book. Teen Titans and X-Men. Green Man. Icons were cool, but they fumbled on faces like Superman. Yeah, that's Superman. I was rearranging my figure shelf and I was pulling out all my icon figures. Like, why does Superman look like he has Visine eyes going? It's not a great move. With the Superman support characters, it's a no-brainer. You sell Lois with Streaky the Cat, Jimmy Crypto, and paired with Beppo, Super Monkey. Then you give people an extra reason to buy civilians. Lawson, come on, let's make it happen. Henry G, ooh, a Mafex Darkest Night. There's so many lines they could be doing. Jeez. Henry G. David Thanos, nice. One more joins the dark side. We need more to join the Movie Files crew. Yeah, come on through, guys. It's fun. Lawson, you need a devil dinosaur about the size of the Jurassic Park T-Rex, right? Ooh, Northern Nomad. Lois Lane with Ursa. All right. Marvel fan. Also, I did not know if you answered this. But what are your top 5 teams of all time? DC Marvel. I did. Yeah, I did. I wish I could timestamp to tell you when I did answer, but I did. I need a Superman the animated series figure line. Talk to Todd. He's got the license. He should be doing those figures too. All right, well, guys, thank you so much. And like I said, I've got my idea from episode 300 talking about DC icons. So hopefully I'll have it done over the weekend. So look for that real soon. And every other news drops, I'll of course do a video and I'll do another live. But you guys are awesome as always. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on a Thursday night. I know you could be doing so many other things, but I appreciate you helping me ring out another week. And thank you as always for tuning in and being so cool and respectful with each other on the chat. I see some others like, oh my gosh, what's going on? So thank y'all for being super cool on that as well. For now, I'm out of here. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome weekend. For now, this episode of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed.